welcome.
Hi.
My name is Fela Thomas.
I go by Monique.
My name is Ali Reza Mortari Fox.
My name is Jarrett Brown.
I'm Dom Jones.
My name is Davin Anthony Thompson.
I work at UC Berkeley.
I'm an artist, entrepreneur,
Professional gardener.
student,
I'm an MC.
I'm a father of 4.
businesswoman.
I am a 32-year-old guy.
An artist.
I'm a devoted husband and partner.
I'm a graduate student.
An educator.
And I like to think an overall fun guy.
A lover.
Do paralegal work,
A fighter.
and I am in school.
Child of Oakland.
And your next president.
I find the union in a state of disunity.
It's in a complex situation.
What?
This American dream that we're searching for is coming at the cost of people living outside and starving.
America is doing what America do. Make money, put people in jail, start some wars.
I'm just more comfortable with an old white guy kind of candidate.
In a lot of ways, perpetuating a very old system of white supremacy in this country.
Shit's fucked up, man.
You know what? Right now, this country is in an amazing position to expand its awareness and its consciousness of itself.
We haven't totally been sold out yet.
So the State of the Union is dying on the vine and behind many other countries who are quote unquote civilized. Behind them in economics, behind them in education, behind them in innovation. So
With all the resources that we have out here, and all the brilliant, intelligent minds, it just seems like we could come up with a different solution.
I believe America is actually, it's in a great position to evolve.
I don't know, maybe the discussion that America should be having is more of a spiritual, moral.
I don't think we should fault people for looking, at porn or something like that.
Basically, I see a lot of people with a lot of push for a lot of change in America.
America is ailing because America refuses to change.
Where's God at? Can we get him to come down real quick? Get in the office. Her, him, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
1 in 10 UC students are homeless and go hungry every day.
Racism and xenophobia and
Homelessness on the streets and
College tuition is the new mortgage.
Unnecessary conflict.
I think there's legitimate concerns for some people, but they're reactionary.
I just feel like the average human being in our country needs to spend more time understanding one another.
Like conflict directed between people who really should be working together.
And I also think the fact that we're not leveraging technology to solve social issues is a big loss.
There's been a long history of people who share an experience around poverty, lack of access, and control of resources.
Gun violence.
It's a big charade.
I was talking about the pit bosses watching the shift manager, and the shift manager's watching this person, and this person watching that person, and this person watching me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't know what America's doing right now.
So we have the freedom to be ignorant.
I mean, we're gonna have to get rid of BET. Maybe.
The first quality I'd think of is honesty.
5 qualities.
Fact driven.
Just empathy.
And those two things aren't at odds. You can be empathetic and facts driven.
Loving would definitely be a quality.
Intelligent.
Clarity of thought and rational thinking.
A sense of humor. Please have a sense of humor.
Like an oxymoron, but I think transparency.
Knows that they don't know everything.
Would have a direct connection with the people.
Risk taker.
Assertive.
Be concise. Be very concise, straight to the point, direct and assertive. Yeah.
I think a president that understands hip hop culture and understands rap music is you're doing a good job there.
You know, doesn't have to have a family, but be family oriented.
Just being solution oriented, perhaps.
You know what I'm saying? You can identify with some real American shit.
I think charisma is necessary.
Dependable and organized.
Quick thinking.
Be a very good public speaker.
Oh, let me repeat that.
Pragmatic as well.
Another quality would be bold.
A lot of people talk about honesty from politicians, but the traits I mentioned, if you're empathetic, if you know that you don't know everything, if you're dependable, organized, all those things, then you'll be an honest politician.
You have to be responsible.
They always say that they're honest.
Somebody that appreciates a well-baked cookie. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that can, you feel me? They like the crust outside to be like kind of crisp, but the closer you get to the middle, it's like soft, moist, sugary.
Eddie, you'd be my VP.
Somebody who I know I've learned a lot from.
I guess that's the rules, right? Or that's how it's set up now. I can have a vice president. I thought it was just the king. You just king, right? Y'all just need to elect me just king.
Michelle Obama, no question.
My comrade and friend, Prishni Murillo.
Stephen Colbert.
Maybe Don Cheadle or something.
It's a friend. I've known her for almost 10 years, and you know, she would be a great vice president because she has excellent time management skills. When she has an idea, she can execute it, which is very important.
Ed James would be my VP, and we would have a reality TV show. We would have a reality, or we would have a blog, and it would be in the war room, but all we would talk about is comic book movies. That's all we would talk about.
Ooh, that's a great question.
It's freedom for everybody or freedom for nobody.
All for one and one for all.
Have fun. I would say it like that. Have fun.
Dude, that to man ain't nothing to fuck with, you know?
Ollie Fox, Good and Plenty, 2020.
I saw something in a movie once. I think it was the movie where Chris Rock is running for president. And his opponent's slogan was, God bless America and nowhere else. And at the end of the movie, Chris Rock goes, God bless America and everywhere else. God bless Russia, God bless Haiti, God bless Senegal, God bless France. And he starts naming all of these countries, and I feel like even though everyone is not, inclined to religion, that's what I would run my campaign on, because it's something familiar that's tweaked a little bit. So I think my campaign slogan would be God bless America and everywhere else.
As president, I definitely see immigration as an issue.
Immigration is such a hot topic, it's dumb to me. America is a country of immigrants.
People won't be coming illegally if we don't have slave labor for them, A.
If somebody is living in a country where they're in danger, or they're hungry, or they just don't like it there, and they want to go somewhere else, they should be able to go.
So we can't sit here and have it both ways. I think it's really a spoiled point of view to complain about immigrants in the way that a lot of people do. It's like,
illegal immigrants make up a large part of the workforce anyway.
I mean, do you realize that you get your, salad, your butter, pretty much everything you eat because of these immigrants that you're complaining about.
The reality is people have been migrating across borders for generations. You know, as long as people have been people have been moving.
Some of us got here by choice. Some of us didn't. But we all here.
If America is really about equality of opportunity, that shouldn't bother you. Because you had the same opportunity they had.
What's the big deal?
My issue when we talk about regulating things is that whole, well, we have a slave economy for Latin workers, so we're not, you regulate that economy and then the problem goes away.
So just picture if I could do this and all illegal immigrants went back to their countries right now. How many companies would be in danger tomorrow? So let's not act like we're not already employing them. They just don't have the right paperwork.
So you don't really want to fix it because you're getting slave labor.
The president should be actually exploring and trying to understand on a national level the causes, both push and pull, for migration.
There's a lot of healing that still needs to be done around people accepting other cultures within this country.
If somebody wants to go somewhere else, yes, they should learn about the country. There should be some sort of paperwork. Okay, sure. But there shouldn't be so much red tape about it.
I feel like the process should be regulated, but I definitely feel that it should definitely be allowed.
People who say things like they don't want to accept Syrian refugees will take a stand and make sure that we don't allow weapon manufacturers to go and sell ISIS back all their fucking weapons when Russia blows them all up and no one's paying fucking attention because something else is in the news that week.
And that connects to trade policy. You know, previous trade policy in the U.S. has created economic and political structure realities outside of the U.S. that push people out of the countries that they live in.
It's been all fucked up.
Then they pull communities to the U.S. with the promise of like a better life, when in a lot of ways that promise isn't necessarily like delivered upon.
There should be background checks and regulations, and I think they're fairly decent.
I mean, we definitely want to make sure that people are not coming over to kill us.
And we should be able to go wherever we want to go.
We can't not accept refugees if we're making a big profit off of weapons in the Middle East.
And the problem really isn't like competition with U.S. jobs.
But I think if you've been here for a while and you've been contributing, then yeah, you should stay. But if you fucking up, then you gotta go.
Come on, people, come on over. Come on. When we are reforming policy as it relates to business, it should also promote basic human understanding as well.
Economics isn't really like a thing unto itself. It's really about people.
Check this out.
You know, other pre-TPP trade policies have really moved a lot of production outside of the U.S., and that's depressed wages in the U.S. It's destabilized unions.
Greed.
People put value on certain kinds of jobs and less value on other kinds of jobs.
America is all about the freedom of opportunity, the equality of opportunity, not the equality of outcome, supposedly.
There's this whole ecosystem that we live in. If you didn't buy fast food, then we wouldn't need a fast food worker.
Productivity of U.S. workforces had increased over the last 20 years, but like wages have stagnated.
Greedy motherfuckers.
Everyone in the world should have work or hopefully have work.
But as we talk about these jobs that we need, the people who work the job shouldn't have to struggle to survive.
Heads of corporations are reaping massive, profits, and like shareholders are making a lot off of it, but it's not really benefiting common people.
Literally, I've looked at the numbers. These people make billions of dollars.
Anyone who's willing to get up every day and go to work should be able to feed themselves, should be able to house themselves, should be able to pay their bills.
I enjoy earning my money. I enjoy making my money.
The federal minimum wage should directly correlate with how much it takes to be able to live and survive and not have to struggle and not have to be on public assistance. People complain about having to pay for other people's lives. Well, then just pay them a fair wage and they can pay for themselves.
They don't even acknowledge that a knife is in the back of our society, let alone, start pulling it out.
And if you didn't buy fast food, you might not need an emergency room back there. Because you wouldn't be in there having a heart attack after eating 20 McNuggets for $5.99. So, one job feeds the other.
Amazing for business. They're terrible things, but they're amazing for business who wants to manufacture cheap crap at the expense of people's lives.
I don't like it.
Trade policy should be developed by people who are actually producing goods and working in the formal part of the economy.
Money as a separator of people is problematic. But we're going to tax these rich people.
So, why fight the feeling? Why not just try and, put that idea of like, can't we all just get along together? You know what I'm saying?
Promoting communication and open trade with other countries, I feel like could continue to be a beneficial thing. We'll throw some soul food at them. Put some barbecue sauce on it.
Supporting ways for like workers and in particular like unions to be able to develop strategies collaboratively across the U.S. around trade policy that would actually meet the needs of the masses of workers within the country.
And we'd say, hey, are you hiring?
There hasn't been a year that the U.S. government hasn't been in an all-out like formal war or a covert war through the CIA or other agents of the state. And that has bred an anger and a frustration.
I'll fight if I have to. But I'd rather not. But when you're dealing with a country and there's other countries that have weapons and they want to use those weapons, and then we have weapons and we want to use those weapons.
That already sounds scary as soon as you say it. Holy shit.
A lot of the terrorism that's going on now is not a standing army, Iraq, not because you're basically asking soldiers who are trained to fight a war to do stuff that police and SWAT do on a regular basis, basically, and then discriminate between who is and who isn't terrorists in a residential community, essentially, in a lot of situations. So
everybody who's a person of color is a possible terrorist and shit.
In terms of Asians, Africans, and Middle Easterns, we have this way of homogenizing people that are completely different as, the same.
So the idea that there are, countries out there that, are jealous of our freedom or don't like our freedom, I would really pose the question of like, are we really a free society that when you think about the majority of the population, they're not even aware of the masses of wars and violence that the U.S. is perpetuating around the world. So it's definitely not being perpetuated in their name. So that's, to me, not very free.
That therein lies a lot of the problem with the way that we try to deal with the, just sending ground troops, in, it would completely solve the issue, because the sentiment lies still with this population of people probably who felt like they've been oppressed or taken advantage of for a lot of time because of our own military actions in the 80s, even, in the same region.
Let's not assume that one side is inherently right.
You don't solve the problem by adding fuel to the fire.
Star Wars. You saw what happened there. Send some Jedis in. Cut that shit out. Cut that shit out. SEAL Team 6, Jedis. Done. Done.
I wouldn't probably send ground troops of America for a lot of things that American presidents do, honestly, but I don't think I could see myself doing it for ISIS. I wouldn't have done it in Iraq in the first place, so I wouldn't probably be dealing with this problem right now.
The U.S. military aggression anywhere in the world is bound to create more violence towards the U.S. and other places.
I mean, to speak honestly, we sell weapons to people who sell weapons to ISIS, so if we just stop doing that, that would probably stop a lot of their power.
Yeah, we could start with the KKK here, and then we can go do the ISIS. You know what I'm saying?
if people are out there acting in my name violently and hurtfully towards other populations of people, and I don't even know about it, I'm not very free in that society. I'm not free to engage in a democratic process that then really honors like my voice, my needs, my priorities.
Profiteering and war longer throughout the Middle East.
Any military response in the Middle East, to me, exacerbates the problem. If I would consider like people bombing and attacking me in my neighborhood right here, it doesn't really matter why they're doing it. If you bomb and you hurt people who are close to me, my instinct would be to retaliate and to try to do what I need to do to protect you and stop you from doing it again.
What is the best way to address this situation effectively?
I would stick to more negotiations and, resolutions. I would stick to that plan versus sending troops over there.
I would nurture a process of reconciliation.
Stay out of other people's business. That's my response.
My name is Davin Thompson, and I don't want you to feed the greed.
I want your vote. Now.
Magneto. I would be like Magneto.
Too much pointing, more swinging.
It's like,
I mean, if Donald Trump is running for president, then I'm qualified to be president. Like, just to keep it silent.
Thank you.
How much is 40 acres?
Can I Google?
TPPP.
I have no idea what that is.
I feel like I need a prop.
Be good to yourself.
Whoop wop, and then I can go back to work.
I'm gonna do a lot of quotes.
Some people might want to watch monkeys throwing poop at people, and they think that's funny.
I'm not taking no mess from no Republican, from no Democrat.
I hear applause. Right now.
Dictator. That's what I would be. I would be a dictator.
If that is the standard for the presidency, I've had failed businesses too. I've been in some relationships. I haven't been on reality TV, but I created a TV series that could be considered a reality TV series. I mean, I've had a weave also. I mean, I don't know.
If you ain't down with clone armies, vote for Davin.
Oh, I just got stage fright.
Shit's gonna get real.
For you, but now I'm crying.
I'm not qualified to be president. But yes, I am qualified to be president.
Technically speaking.
Well, from
Technically.
essentially meaning that exclusively they're.
You seen Terminator?
Like, quit being a punk, man.
But we still taxing the rich people. I want to keep that in people's minds. We taxing.
Because we're in California.
If the government's going to bail out anybody, it should be citizens.